Welcome back, it's Flavour Friday, and today I am going to show you one of my favourites, a Kathi roll. If you enjoy our YouTube channel, then please remember to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. So our Kathi roll is an amazing fluffy paratha with some roasted meats and some onions and some sauces and rolled up like a kebab. I had this for the first time when I was traveling in India in a place called Kochi, and I was just incredibly blown away, and I'm going to show you how to make that today. So we're going to start by marinating our chicken thigh. I've got quite a medley of spices here. I have got some chili powder, some garam masala, some cumin, a little bit of turmeric just to kind of bring the color out of the chicken, and I've got some salt and ground black pepper. I also have some lemon juice. You can use a vinegar if you like. It's always good to have that bit of acidity into our meats. Some ginger and garlic, and then I've got some yogurt which will help to form a coating on our chicken and also tenderize. So we can add all of those in now. In with the yogurt. And a good squeeze of lemon. Give it a really great mix. And then we're going to leave it to marinate for a couple of hours before popping it into the oven. Okay, so we're going to start by making our dough for our parathas. Now, this is traditionally using a whole wheat flour, but you can use a plain flour as well. We are going to add a nice pinch of salt. And I've got some vegetable oil as well, and then some nice warm water just to really help mix it together. So there's about 2 cups of flour here. We're just going to gradually add the water until we get it to the right consistency. And as that's binding together, you can add in a couple of teaspoons of oil. You can use ghee as well. And continue to bring that dough together. A little bit more water. And once it starts to get, a little bit of texture to it, it's time to get in there with our hands. It's always a lot easier to feel what's going on with your dough if you've got your hands in it. When it gets to the point where you can't do too much more in the bowl, I'm going to tip it out gently onto a nice clean surface and start to knead our dough. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a really lovely soft dough now. So because we've been working really hard on binding this dough together, we now need to let it have a little relax and just rest now for about 20 to 30 minutes, just until it's kind of calmed down a little bit. I'm also going to pop a damp tea towel over the top just to make sure that it doesn't dry out. So my chicken's been marinating for about 2 hours, so I'm going to bake it in the oven now at about 180 degrees, depending on how strong your oven is. I'm also going to add a little bit of oil to the bottom of my pan. I've got some tin foil and some baking paper. I really want it to get nice and crispy on the top, and I don't want it to stick to my pan, so that's why I've doubled up. With my chicken, I also want to make sure that I'm spreading it out and making sure that each individual piece is going to get cooked and get colouring. Laying it out nicely. If you just dump it all in and pile it all up, it won't get that colouring that we're after. And then a drizzle of oil on top. And then we're going to pop that into our nice hot oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. Let's roll out our parathas now. So my dough has had a nice chance to relax. you'll notice you'll really start to feel the softness in the dough. So we'll just take a nice ball, make it round. We'll put a little bit of extra flour to stop it from sticking. And with your rolling pin, we're going to make a nice big circle. Okay, so now that we have a nice thin round dough, I'm going to take some melted ghee, and this is where it starts to get good, and we want to generously brush the ghee over our paratha before we then start to fold it back up. So there's a few different ways that you can do this. I am going to make the more square variety. So I've gone over both sides and then both sides up, give it a little pinch in the middle, and then over it goes. Turn it over, and then we'll roll it out again. So I always think of this as a Indian puff pastry. So you're going to have all those lovely layers of really thin dough with the ghee in between. Rolling it back out. Now you can do this process depending on what size you're making. You can do it 1 or 2 times. I'm gonna do it 1 more time and then roll it out, and then we'll be ready to fry them. Our parathas are all rolled out. Now I've got a medium-sized non-stick pan with some ghee in the base, and I've got some extra melted ghee to brush on the base of our pan. And then just go straight in. And a little bit of movement helps to get those air bubbles going. Here they come. Okay, now be careful, you don't want to burn them now. See that lovely puff. A little bit more ghee. Don't hold back with the ghee. A couple more seconds on each side. Make sure that you give them a good brush. Make them all nice and silky and shiny. They're ready to serve up. Okay, my chicken has come out of the oven and it's roasted and it's got dry, crunchy bits on it and super spicy and yum. So we can then take our beautiful Indian flatbread and start to load it up with all these goodies. Be generous with it. Oh my gosh, the smell is just so good. I've got some fresh ingredients as well. So I've got some thinly sliced red onion. I've got some fresh coriander and some chili. It's actually really spicy. I put a lot on that. And then I have a mint and coriander yogurt, just to give it that extra freshness. Then we're simply going to roll it up and have a taste. It smells so good. Make sure I get all those beautiful bits in one bite. The paratha is so flaky and buttery. That chicken is really spicy, and then all that freshness, that is a delicious dish. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you would like to have a crack at it, then the recipe is in the link below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and we'd love to hear you. So any comments, just down below.